Our next speaker has a proposal for the club officers and club members. Please welcome Advanced Toastmaster Gold, Stephen Morgan, with his proposal for evaluating leadership.
Who here is familiar with the High Performance Leadership Project? Only one.
And Joe.
Did I miss? Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Okay, I didn't see your hand. Joe and Susanna. This program in Toastmasters is the hidden gem. If you are not familiar with it, most people don't even look at it because it's not a requirement for anything until you get to Advanced Leader Silver, which is usually the last thing someone's going to do to get to DTM. But it's something that I suggest everyone take a look at pretty much as soon as you join, because if you're ever in a position where you are a leader of a group of people, this program is designed to give you feedback while doing that leadership role. It is very effective in that you have a committee of Toastmasters giving you feedback, and it makes you go through the steps to actually think about what it is you're doing in that role. If you ever find yourself in that position, in Toastmasters, at work, elsewhere, it doesn't matter. Pick up the program and take a look at it. The idea is to develop your leadership skills. Now here in Toastmasters, we're familiar with what we do when we do the speech manuals. You get the manual, you're given a project, you're given objectives, and you're given an evaluation. You're given feedback on how you did your speech project. In the High Performance Leadership Program, you're given feedback on how you do your leadership project. What I am proposing is to essentially find a way to expand that into the role of where the club officers sit. The club officers are given training provided by the district twice a year. The idea is to help you get some new ideas, get the idea from other officers, other people who've done roles, to help you figure out what it is that you may wish to do during your term. But that one piece, I feel, is missing, the feedback. That feedback loop is not in place for the club officers. And I'd like to find a way to put that into place. In order to do that, then, the club officers are going to need somebody who's going to give them feedback. And that's where it's going to take the help of people within the club itself. We're going to want that to come from within the club members. And I like to think of it at the moment in terms of the way the High Performance Leadership Program works, but I'm still formulating it because it's still an idea in formation. The idea is to give each of the officers a small committee, probably 2, maybe 3 people, who will give them feedback probably once a month on how they're doing their job. I'm not talking mentorship. I'm not saying this is how you go do it. No, I'm saying, how are you doing? I think that you are doing very well at this, and I think you might want to improve over here. And where would you want to focus? Each office has its duties. So those particular duties should be focused on. But if you're also familiar with the Competent Leadership Manual, which, who has theirs here today? Rest of you may. That Competent Leadership Manual should be out at each of these meetings. That manual has 10 projects, and what they've done with the Competent Leadership Manual, like we did with the Competent Communication Manual. The Competent Communication Manual takes communication skills, broke it down into fundamental aspects. Body language, choice of words, structure. The Competent Leadership Manual is trying to do the same thing with what we consider leadership skills, whether it's mentoring, time management, all of those projects. Those should also be aspects of the feedback that we provide back, say, to the leaders within the organization. That's what I'm hoping to see set up. So for each of the club officers, if you're willing, the idea is to give you a few people who are willing to observe and to give you feedback on how you're doing. Not waiting till the end of the term, every month perhaps, that you're getting feedback as to how are you doing, what might you improve, what are you already doing well, where are your strengths? And especially you get to ask them, these are the things that I think need work as well, or finding out maybe not, you're actually quite good at that already. Where can we learn to grow? creating that feedback loop will allow the officers to grow faster within their roles, to learn more leadership skills, to let everyone who's actually doing the role in the evaluating to learn as well, seeing other perspectives, hearing others' feedback. Some of this might happen in meeting for everyone to hear, but it could also happen outside of meeting. With the end goal that by the time we've gotten even halfway through the year, the club officers should have been able to step up several levels just from their own development. And from there, all of us will get to benefit because the club will also start to move a lot more smoothly. The officers will be more comfortable in their roles. They'll feel more confident as they've gotten more feedback. And then when coming the next year around, we'll have something that we can also say to anyone who's coming in, you're not alone. You see, when it comes time to take a club officer role, it's not something that you should do because you feel you are ready to do it. I've always said it's something that you should do because you don't feel ready for it. Here in Toastmasters, the whole point is to get up here and take the opportunity to grow, which means when you get up to give a speech, I'm not expecting perfection. We're here to get feedback. Get up and try something and be willing to fail. And if you think there's something you need to work on it. So take on the club officer role, feel free to fail, because that's what we're supposed to do here before you go out there. Take those opportunities, and I'm hoping that if we can, everyone who is willing, if you're willing to step up and help, to help the officers and put just a little bit of extra time for all of us to learn and grow, then I do believe that the officers will gain a lot and the club will gain a lot. And then maybe we can even push this out and show everyone else what we're doing here, advancing even further.